Hey everybody, it's a Plowboy here, and I was thinking about something, and I've thought about this a lot, and I'm sure you all have, but this big question of whether God exists, do you believe in God, do you believe in evil, why this, why that, all these questions that people have, and if you really think about it, it makes sense that God exists, because if God didn't exist, none of this would make any sense. This battle between good and evil, this need for the media, the Hollywood, for music to always at the top lean towards evil. It always leads towards Satanism, you know, from the clothing to the promiscuous sex to the drugs to, um, the other things, the unmentionable things. It all makes sense if God exists. Now, on the other end, there's a moral core in people too that say this is wrong. Certain things are just wrong, and it's been like that throughout history. It's wrong to cheat on your wife. It's wrong to lie. It's wrong to deceive and defraud people, you know, and it all makes sense if God exists. Now, if God doesn't exist, none of this makes any sense at all. Why would people be so evil, right? Why would people be concerned about good or evil if God didn't exist? There would be no reason for it. There would be no reason to have a moral code. There would be no reason to treat each other with respect, because there's no moral code. There's no uh, common grace amongst mankind. So just the idea of God existing is the only thing that makes sense to me. And I'm just going to leave you with that. It was just thinking out loud here. You know, we need to understand that there is a physical realm and there is a spiritual realm. There are things that happen in the spiritual realm that affect the physical realm. There are a race of beings that are out there in the spiritual realm that existed before the creation of the earth. There was a rebellion in heaven before God created the world. There were the Watchers. There were the angels in Job. I think it's chapter 32. In Genesis chapter 4, we had the angels that came into our realm, the shape-shifting angels. Yeah, there were shape-shifting angels, and they would come into our realm and they would violate the women, and it was wrong. It was wrong, and it produced offspring. It produced these giants, these Nephilim, and these Nephilim go and they wreak havoc on the world, and their dead spirits are demons that roam the earth today. I mean, this evil exists. It's out there, but there's good that exists too. There's good in the hearts of men, but there's so much more evil. We always have the sin issue because men are not perfect. And sin, by the way, it is a deed. It is deeds, but it's also a state. It's the state that we live in. We live in a state that's fallen, that misses the mark, right? We live in a fallen world, in a fallen state. And that's why this all makes sense, is because God does exist, because we are fallen beings. And the need for mankind to be so against God. I've met atheists who hate God. I've had them tell me that, if there is a God, I hate him. Or I had one straight up tell me, I hate God. I'm like, how can you hate God? He doesn't exist. And, it's just that thing that he does exist. And Jesus Christ came into this world because he had to put an end to this endless narrative that there are multiple gods, that one nation is better than another, and Jesus came into this world to level the playing field and to show who the one true God really is. It's not Zeus, it's not Thor, it's not, you know, the Apkallu. We're not offshoots of the Apkallu and this superior race. We are here because God created us and God put us here for a reason. Now, Jesus had to come into this world and die. This is what the earth, the world, the people of the world do when something good comes into the world. They want it gone. That's it. They want it gone, and they will get rid of it. And Jesus Christ was good. He never did anything to deserve what came upon him. The people cheered for it. They wanted him gone too, but they wanted him gone for a different reason. They wanted him gone because he would not lead a revolution against Rome. He would not rally the zealots and lead a revolution because he taught about a different kingdom, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of the unseen realm. Anyway, like I said earlier, this all makes perfect sense what's going on in the world. All this deception, all this confusion, only if God exists. Now, if he doesn't exist, none of this makes any sense. Think on that. I'm the Plowboy. Everybody have a great day.